What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Party Chat. I am your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week is Dan Gilbert and Ashley Dye.
Gents.
I am very excited for this topic today, guys.
I thought you would be.
This is going to be a fun one. This one will be worth your attention. But very quickly, before we do jump in, we should give everyone the spiel of what it is. If you're watching for the first time, Party Chat is a weekly show that the three of us do every Wednesday, where one of us will bring a topic to the table. It could either be relevant to kind of ongoing events, or it could just be something that they want to ask. You know, what's your favourite game? Anything like that. And we just talk for about 10 minutes just to share our opinions with each other and with you. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe to our channel, share us with your friends. We will get into this topic right now. I don't want to talk anymore, I just want to talk about it. There was an article on the BBC last week, just over a week ago, that grabbed my attention. The headline on it said, heads, that means like headmasters, head teachers, threat parents over video games. And basically what this is saying is, I'll give you a quick quote here from the head of a school in Cheshire, saying, "We are trying to help parents to keep their children safe during this digital era." Basically what they're saying is that they are going to report these parents to the police if they find out that these kids are playing games that they shouldn't be playing. So like basically if there's a 12-year-old kid playing GTA, it's going to report them to the police for child neglect. So that gets me wondering, what do you think of this whole, are ed ratings important? How wrong are they in Cheshire? Not just generally, but more, well, we can do general if you want, but specifically to this one. And do you think there is a limit, or do you think that anyone should be able to play anything?
There is a limit, but it just comes back to the old common sense, doesn't it? Really.
Yes. Do you
difficult.
Do you think that these people in education have a right to tell parents what their kids should and should not be doing? Like, are they not just there to teach them? Like, do they have a responsibility? Like, it's like
the way society has moved is that anyone who has any involvement whatsoever in like dealing with the kid now has a responsibility to help. Basically, parenting and raising the child has gone from mum and dad and grandparents and so on to everyone. If you see that kid on the bus, you are now responsible for raising him for 15 minutes, kind of thing, on his journey. It's got to that stage.
I think
it's overboard.
I think it just comes down to if we were to say, would you consider it appropriate for a 10-year-old to play Grand Theft Auto? Personally, no, I wouldn't.
Do you not think it depends on that kid though? Like, is it not stereotyping a kid to say every single 10-year-old is the same?
But those ratings are there for a reason.
They're there as a guide.
Yes.
I agree. They're saying that there's adult content in this game, but there could be 10-year-olds that are far more mature than 17-year-olds.
Yeah, in the same context then, would you want to see like a load of 9 and 10-year-olds using like the C word and the F words in the street?
You mean cunt and fuck? Those words. It's fine, as long as they're not aiming them at me. I know what you're saying. It's like there is a time. I think it's down to the parents, to raise your kid it's up to them to raise them in a way that's appropriate. There are different kids that have, like I said, different maturity at different ages, and you as a parent needs to understand whether or not your kid can handle the content that they're about to see. Now, GTA is obviously an extreme example because it is renowned to be one of these games that society likes to have a go at the most.
It does.
Because of what you can do in it. But then there are 18 rated games like The Last of Us. That's an 18.
But that's just because it's
because of
monsters and scary and that
gore.
Sort of thing,
It's all the gore. There are certain things that set a game and make a game.
Yeah, basically same
like
as
swearing.
They've got their checklist, and the more it has on that checklist, the higher the rating has to go.
So, what I'm interested in most as well is, with this report, it's all about keeping kids safe, and I understand it from one respect because there are some terrible parents out there.
Yeah, agreed.
There are some really bad, and there are probably some instances where maybe there is actual child neglect. Like they don't care about the kid. But it's difficult to say just because that kid is playing a game, that parent is therefore being negligent.
No.
And also, like, the ratings are in like the PEGI ratings. That makes the game illegal for that kid to buy it, but it doesn't make it illegal for him to play it.
Exactly.
So how does telling the police how is it going to be enforceable?
Well, there is no legal standing.
There is
in
no
these
legal
things.
standing.
Like,
No.
I've looked at this and so on and read that and read the reactions and stuff on. Is they can say all they want. There is no legal standing on this to say you're neglecting your child by making them see something violent. That child could turn on the TV at like 11 o'clock or whatever and see like Saving Private Ryan, which is an 18, like the opening scene, and so on that. That is extremely violent and graphic.
Yeah.
It's not neglect because your TV's or the kids turn the TV on. If anything, you're loving that kid because you've given him a TV in his room.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not that. It's.
Do you think it's these adults again who are basically just trying to attack the gaming world? We've had stories on our other show, the people that want to ban violent games and save it based. You see all these articles. This kid shot his grandmum because he was playing GTA. He went and got the gun out of a drawer because obviously in America guns are just lying around in America.
Yeah.
And he shot his grandmother because that's what he had just done in GTA and he thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's all the game. Put
It's all
your
the
gun
game.
in a fucking safe.
I know. It's like
This doesn't happen if you lock up your firearms.
That's a different argument altogether.
No, that's the exact argument I want to have here.
Wow.
It's like if you're going to have a country that allows anyone to own a gun as long as the background check says they're one, not a criminal, or two, insane at the time of the background check, and then you're going to allow them just to store it on the sofa because they don't want to bother getting a gun safe, then you are asking for shit like this to happen, not because of what the child is being influenced by, but because you're giving him the tool directly there.
Yeah, there are extreme circumstances. I do agree. I would say personally, games like GTA, anyone, when I was saying 10, probably yes. I think I'd want a kid to at least be 13, probably. Kind of when you start getting into secondary school and stuff like that, you then start to associate the differences in the world. Because obviously, no one's born with moles. Like kids, when they're really young, they don't understand. Yeah. They have to learn.
Yeah.
So like, a 5-year-old kid playing GTA, I do agree.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about kindergarten here.
No, we're not.
Reception. We're talking about
15, 16, 17-year-olds, whatever. Yeah. I think, I have no issue with it whatsoever as long as the person realises and it can differentiate the difference between reality and the video game world. I mean, it's, they are very, very different things. They're video games for a reason. We can do things on video games for that very reason because it's just not something we can experience every day. If you had a game like, I know they've done Sims, but if you had a game that just, a guy went to work every day or went to school every day and then walked home, had his dinner, and who the hell would play it?
You mentioned the Sims.
People.
You mentioned the Sims.
Sims is one of the biggest selling games of all time.
I appreciate
no.
That's a little bit different.
No, but what I want to say right here now is the Sims. Yeah, very low rating. What would you call it? Like a U or 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be a 3+.
How many people played The Sims and set someone on fire?
Yeah. Put a room with no door. Put up all the
hay bales things. Put a really bad fire in a corner, and then just watch the carnage. Okay.
Yeah.
Did those people then go and set fire to their houses?
Some people might have.
But it happens in
But then they don't go and ban The Sims, do they?
But it does happen in cartoons. I mean, okay, it's not done to the same extent, but look at Roadrunner. I mean, he's always using TNT. I mean, where do you draw the line? Tom and Jerry. They're violence.
Yeah,
violent.
You could argue
racist,
they're violent.
Apparently that, but that's a different story altogether. I guess their argument is because you're interacting with this, whereas you're watching. I don't know. I agree with you completely because it's all coming. For a kid, it's all coming through the same box.
Yeah.
But the difference is, one thing, you're making the things happen on the TV, and the other, they're just happening.
Choice. Yeah.
But like, the original Grand Theft Auto came out in 1997. That means I would have been 10. At most, I played the game maybe a couple of years after it came out. I might not have. But I remember playing the original GTA. I had the original GTA on PlayStation. So I was maybe 11 or 12. Thanks, parents, by the way. You were cool. But like, I never once wanted to shoot people, steal their cars, or maybe a couple of cars because they look cool, but I never actually did it. So it's just like,
I know. You're absolutely right, and I think round this table we all agree on this, that it just comes down to the individual themselves.
It does.
And are they mature enough and responsible enough to see it as just a game and enjoy it for what it's meant to be?
Yeah, and if that kid is playing a game where the rating is higher than their age, and they start exhibiting some kind of behaviour because of what they've been doing, then it's up to the parents to then correct that.
Kick it in the bud early on. Kid's not going to go from normal to mass murder overnight.
No.
I'd like to hope. But I know there was that kid in America as well that went and shot like kids because apparently he played Call of Duty. I was like,
that's just a
that's not the Call of
Duty, and they
Duty.
just try and find a link.
But it's not the game's fault. There was something wrong in that kid already.
Yeah,
to make
people who do
normal
that,
people,
it's a mental illness.
Yeah,
and it's, again, this is going to a different topic completely and so on. It's up to a nation to have the proper mental health care system in place to prevent stuff like that.
It is.
It's not up to, like, we call video games art.
Which they are.
Yeah, it's not up to the artist to administer psychiatric help to people and screen them ahead of time.
Look, it's in my opinion, it's not that different to watching some very violent films, and there have been some very violent films over the years.
They have.
It's not that different.
The ratings should be there as a guide. I think that's basically all we can say.
Well, that's it.
They are as a guide.
It's a guideline, and if you're at all worried because that guideline says it's maybe a bit more mature for your kid than you'd like, but you don't see it as being a big issue, pre-screen it.
Yeah, if you're a parent, be responsible.
You don't even have to buy the thing to pre-screen it.
There's so much stuff on
YouTube.
Do your own review the game and do your own. I mean, I'll say happily now, so that my son is he's 8, he'll be 9 this year, and if he wants, I'm trying to think what the PEGI ratings are now, but if he wants to play, let's say, a 12 game, or watch a movie that was a 12, I think he wants to watch Thor or something like that, and knowing the film itself and knowing that it's not really that bad. It's just got a few sort of
fantasy violence basically have raised that level.
Exactly, and it's not that bad. It's not gory. It's not got a load of swearing in. It's not got a load of sex in it. It's not that kind of film. It's just because there's a lot of fighting going on and things. But there's nothing there that's really, in my opinion, between in the next 3 years. That is going to change for him.
But if he suddenly started exhibiting behaviour by picking up a massive mallet and then
I was going to say,
you would stop that.
Make sure your hammers are out of reach. He starts screaming the power of 4. Make sure he has access to foam hammers only.
Ones that squeak.
Oh yeah, the ones you always win from the fair, which were amazing, and you hit people really hard at once, and then they pop. They pop.
Yeah. You end up with a droopy hammer.
Yeah. I've had that problem many times. But no, I think we've come to the conclusion that protection has gone. I think it's gone overboard, and people just need to be.
We do live in a nanny state.
We do. It's so
everything,
bad.
But everything. That's not just the kids. It's literally anything and everything. It's a
I think that to be fair, I think a lot of the parents are to blame because the adults. If a kid ever does anything wrong, they, like you said, we've said before, they look for things to blame.
Yeah.
Just if you are a parent and you want, if this kid wants to play this game, just decide whether or not they can handle it. The ratings are there for a reason.
They are.
But I would not say that they are a black and white thing.
No.
Because
you can't say that all PEGI 18 rated games are equally as violent or as gory because they're not.
No, because sometimes it could be because of the language.
Yeah.
Or, I think basically if a game says the word cunt in it once, it's automatically an 18.
Yeah.
I think that word automatically makes it. It's the same in films, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like the game could just be like a Pac-Man game. Kind of like...
Waka 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 cunt, waka 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 waka.
Or a SpongeBob game. But there you go. There's... I know you're looking at me as saying shut up now, so I will shut up.
I'm just thinking of this going on YouTube, that's all.
It's fine. It's fine. The words.
We might have to have some beeps in there over those.
Never. You will never censor me.
I think we have to.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Nope. Thank you very much for watching, everyone out there. If you have enjoyed this topic, please do give the video a like. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of this whole category. I mean, we could spend a long time talking about it. We could feed off in a lot of
hours.
But basically, do you think that games can be too adult for kids, and what's the controls? You know, we'd like to know your opinions down below. Also, what do you think of my swearing? Is it too much? Should I stop?
Do I need help?
Do I need help? Should I beat them out? I'm not going to. Ash says should. I win. But if you think I should, let me know.
It'd be a bit late, wouldn't it?
Well, I can do it next time.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll swear again at some point in the future.
I'm sure you will.
But Dan, Ash,
Cheers, guys.
thank you for your time as always. And everyone out there, I will see you, or we will see you. Well, you might.
We've been fired now.
No, you're gonna leave. You're gonna leave in disgust because I keep dropping the C-bomb.
Okay.
But yeah, we will see you all next Wednesday.